Apple has put a ton of time and money into finally making the Apple Maps app acceptable, and thankfully it is. It has greatly improved since it was first released, to the point where I'm now using it as my daily navigation and maps app for everything but one thing that I think is still better elsewhere, and I'll explain, but these are the best Apple Maps tips that you need to know. The Apple Maps app is on the left here, and it's just called Maps when you search for it. And if I go into the app, this is what it's going to look like. I personally prefer this look or this user interface compared to Google Maps. I do find Apple Maps is a lot cleaner. Almost all of your controls are consolidated down here, so you get more screen real estate dedicated to the map itself. You can always pull up here on the bottom to see more information. Now, this first little button in the top left, this is your temperature and air quality for the location you're currently looking at. So in Montreal right now, it's 20 degrees with an air quality of 2, and I can long press on it to expand it and get even more information. But if I were to click in and go to a different city, so let's say Seoul in South Korea, and I'll just have to zoom in a little bit before that button appears, but there it is in the top left, and you'll see the information has already updated. So now it's 24 degrees with an air quality index of 64 for South Korea. And if I click in, again, expand to see more info. And then if I were to actually click on this expanded window, it'll bring me directly into the Apple Weather app. And this is one of my favorite things, and why I've been waiting so patiently for Apple Maps to finally be good is because it of course integrates with the Apple ecosystem and Apple apps so seamlessly. Just makes everything a lot easier when everything is integrated like this. And if for some reason you don't see this button on your screen, I'll show you how to turn it on in settings a little bit later. Towards the bottom right, there is a 3D button, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit when we explore the look around feature. So below that, there's a little maps button. And when you click on that, this is where you can change the different map mode you're viewing. Right now I'm in Explore, whereas if I click on that button and go over to driving, for example, now it's going to highlight all of the traffic. So any red means there's traffic, there's a backup there. If I go over to transit, it's going to highlight the transit, the metro subway lines here in Montreal. And then the last one is satellite, where you can really zoom in and get a feel and a look around of what you're looking at. Now, this is where I'll talk a little bit about the 3D button. So if I go into 3D, whether you're in satellite or any of the other modes, it's just gonna look a little bit more realistic. So if I zoom into the stadium here, you can actually see the height of the stadium. If I zoom out and use 2 fingers to swipe up, it changes the angle or the perspective here. And so you can really zoom in and get a good idea, a good look around this area, what it actually looks like as if you were standing there pretty much. So I love using this feature before I go on a trip. If I want to explore where I'm going, the city, but also maybe where my hotel is, to figure out what it's going to look like, know what to expect, and just kind of get a lay of the land. I find it super helpful, but it's also a lot of fun to look at tourist attractions so you know, again, what to expect before you get there. And so as I said, anytime you use 2 fingers to kind of go up and down, that's when you're going to tilt the map and change the perspective. But you can also do 2 fingers and go in a circle like that. And then if we go up and down, you can even zoom in to, as I said, tourist attractions like the Basilica in Montreal, or even if we go down, you can even see the Montreal Ferris wheel pretty up close. And there is as well the button in the bottom left here. That's your street view. So if I were to click on this, I can expand it, and then it's just going to give me the street view, look around. You can click to, of course, move along in the map or on the street, and always pan to the left or right to get a better look at what you're looking at. And then you can just hit the 2D button to get out of the 3D mode and just back to the flat map. Another thing I like to do before traveling, or just any time I'm going somewhere where I know I'm going to have limited service, is download the offline map for that region so that I can still access it even if I have no cellular service or no Wi-Fi. I can see the map and use it to get around. So to do that, you're just going to click on your profile picture or whatever your profile icon is in the bottom right, and then you should see an option here for offline maps. Click on download new maps, and it'll show you down here how much data this map is going to download onto your phone, so you'll know how much storage it's about to take up. So I definitely recommend using the handles here to adjust the size and make sure you're only going to download the area of the city you're going to, and you'll see that number again change as you adjust the size of this window. And then you would just hit download. And then I recommend toggling on optimize storage. So if you forget to manually delete it at the end of your trip, your phone will automatically delete it after a while if you haven't used that downloaded map in a while. Now, if we just swipe up here on the search bar to expand it, you can expand it even more so that it is full screen if you want to see everything it's showing here, but I'll just keep it half for now. One thing I really like about Apple Maps for searching is I do find there's more search filters. So what I mean by that is, let's say I wanted to find fast food. I'm on a road trip maybe, and I need somewhere to stop and eat. I can scroll through here on the side and I can filter by restaurants that have a drive-through. I can filter by drive-through. It'll show me all of the ones that have one. I can even say accept Apple Pay. So I just find there are a lot more filter options when you're searching that can be super helpful. Or another example is if I wanted to search for coffee shops and I needed to make sure the coffee shop had free Wi-Fi, I can go all the way to the end and filter by coffee shops that do have free Wi-Fi. So it's just super easy. It makes it a little bit easier to find what you're looking for or what you need in this instance. However, the part that Apple Maps is still missing or falling short on for me, which makes sense, is the reviews. Apple will still show you some. So like if I click into the Hilton, it'll still give you some information. This hotel, it's going to show you TripAdvisors, so you can still get a good look. And I can click in and even open the TripAdvisor app to see all of the reviews. Or even if I click into a restaurant or a bar, it's going to show you again the ratings and reviews. Sometimes it's OpenTable, sometimes it might be Yelp. So it's just not as streamlined, I find, as in Google Maps, because Google has everyone's data and everyone's reviews. So for that, I will still opt for Google Maps, but now everything else I am doing in Apple Maps. Now, when it comes to actually navigating somewhere and following directions, so let's say I want to go to Montreal Airport, this is all pretty straightforward. And of course, you can change modes. So if you're not driving, maybe you're going to be walking. And if you press the very last button, it's a person with their hand up. This brings you to rideshare. So if you have rideshare apps like Uber or Lyft downloaded on your phone, you'll be able to see how long you'd have to wait, how much the ride would cost. I'm not sure why Uber isn't working right now. Normally I see both, and it's great because you can price compare to see who's cheaper at that moment. So I'm not sure if this is an Apple bug or an Uber bug. If you try this and you're able to see Uber on your phone right now, let me know. Maybe it's just something weird going on. But yeah, usually it's great because you can use this anywhere in the world. Even if you're traveling, you can go here and see the different prices and how long you might have to wait for a ride. If though you're not seeing anything, if you don't have rideshare apps set up, I'll show you how to set this up in settings in just a minute. Now, if I go back over to the driving directions, something else I find super helpful. Once I click go here, I'm going to get a button here at the bottom that says share ETA. When I click on this, it's going to show me any of the contacts I've used recently, my favorites, and I can just quickly click on that to share my ETA with whoever so that they can follow along on my trip. If I stop somewhere, get delayed, they'll be updated with my ETA. So I find it's a great feature, even just from a safety standpoint, and they keep it quick and easy to use. Another awesome feature, and arguably one of the best, is that Apple Maps will remember where you parked your car so that you can find it at any point. If you use CarPlay or even connect your phone to Bluetooth in your car, there's a chance Apple Maps is saving where you parked automatically. Whenever your phone disconnects from CarPlay or Bluetooth, it's assuming you've parked your car, and so it'll save the location automatically. But you can also do this just by asking Siri, remember where I parked. So if ever you get out of your car, you can do that. It'll save the location. And then when you go in to Apple Maps, if it has a saved location for your car, you should see it quite clearly. So here I have it at the top, Siri suggestions, parked car. I can click on this. It'll show me where the car is parked, or I can even hit directions for step-by-step instructions on how to get to my car. Or even easier, instead of opening the app, you can just ask Siri, where did I park? And get the same instructions. Now, to make sure this is all set up properly, there are a few settings that we need to turn on. So if you open your settings app. And to keep it quick, I'm just going to search for maps and open up the map settings. So let's work our way from the bottom to the top of the settings here. So at the very bottom, your car, you want to toggle on show parked location so that again, it should happen automatically once you disconnect CarPlay or Bluetooth in your car. Under extensions, this is where if I click into ride booking, I would toggle on Lyft or Uber. So any of the apps you already have downloaded on your phone that are applicable will appear here, and you can just toggle them on individually. Same thing for restaurant bookings. So OpenTable is an app I use for that. With that toggled on, anytime I look for a restaurant, I can quickly reserve a table from Apple Maps. Then if we scroll up a little bit under climate, this is where you want to toggle on air quality index and weather conditions. Make sure the share ETA is toggled on if you want to be able to quickly share that. And then this is where you can set some of the defaults based on your preferences. So preferred type of travel, if you're most likely driving everywhere you're going most of the time, you can set that so the default it's going to show you is driving. And then you can actually customize what you see based on these different modes. So if we do go into driving, we can set a default to always avoid tolls or highways, or even if we go down to transit, for example, you can pick and choose which modes of transportation you rather use. For the offline maps, again, I recommend toggling on optimized storage so that your phone automatically deletes an offline map when you haven't used it. And then at the very top, you just want to make sure your location services are all turned on so that features like Parked My Car will work. So those are some of my favorite Apple Maps features, but if you use any that you want to teach me, let me know in the comments down below. And also let me know which of these features was your favorite. So that's it. Have a great day. Bye.